Hi, what's up, fam? If you're like me, you've probably felt like the world's spinning out of control lately. You open up your newsfeed, and it's like what fresh madness is happening today. Whether it's political chaos or international drama, it feels like we're in a never-ending reality show that we just can't turn off. And here's the thing sometimes, the craziness feels almost biblical. You know, those crazy prophecies that talk about the end of days? I'm not saying the world's ending tomorrow, but sometimes, when I look around, I can't help but wonder, is this really what it's all supposed to look like? Now, I know this sounds a little dramatic, but stay with me. I'm talking about one name that keeps popping up in the headlines like he's trying to get the world's attention, Donald Trump. Yeah, that guy. You might be thinking, what does he have to do with all this? Well, buckle up, because some of his recent moves have been so wild, they feel like something out of a prophesier, a really twisted reality show. Alright, let's break this down. The guy's been playing chess while the rest of us are still trying to figure out checkers. It's like every time he opens his mouth, we're all sitting there, wide-eyed, like, did he just say that? But here's the thing, some of the stuff he's been doing, it's downright crazy. And that's not just me saying it, people all over the world are scratching their heads, trying to figure out what's really going on. First off, you've got the tariffs. Now, if you don't know what tariffs are, think of them as a tax on imported goods. Sounds boring, right? Well, in the hands of Trump, it became a high-stakes game of who's next. He slapped massive tariffs on China so huge, it was like saying, pay up or no more trade. But he didn't stop there. Oh no, he started throwing tariffs on Canada, the European Union, even Mexico. It was like he was on a wild shopping spree, just throwing out taxes left and right. People were like, this is insane. Why is he trying to destroy everything? Stocks dropped, trade agreements fell apart, and no one really knew what the heck was going on anymore. It was like watching a kid destroy his own Lego castle just for the fun of it. And then, just when you think the dust is settling, Trump hits us with another move. He takes a wrecking ball to trade alliances and tries to strong-arm countries into paying more money for their defense. Yep, NATO members are his next targets. It's like he walked into a room full of international leaders, pointed at everyone, and said, "You're all paying up, or we're done here." Some people were furious, others were confused, and honestly, most of us were just trying to figure out how this affects our lives. You know what it felt like? Like Trump was playing Monopoly and flipping the board every time he didn't win. But it's not just about trade, is it? Trump wasn't just throwing temper tantrums at countries, he was creating division. Think about it, the way he got into the media's face and just fired shots at everyone. This guy's relationship with the press was like a bad breakup you just can't look away from. He insulted, belittled, and even tried to twist the facts. But here's where things got real weird, people just ate it up. It was like he had everyone hooked, waiting for the next outrageous thing he was going to say. The media was eating out of his hand, and every tweet, every press conference, just stirred up more chaos. It's like he was playing on the world's collective anxiety. And let's not forget about the situation in Ukraine. Ah yes, Trump had his own take on that mess too. He didn't just stand back and let things happen, he had his opinions, and you best believe he shared them. One minute, he was saying he could fix the whole crisis in a day like, okay Trump, tell me more about your diplomatic superpowers. The next minute, he's out here implying that we should just let Russia do its thing. Which, wasn't the most comforting thought. People were losing it. Leaders were sweating. And the rest of the world was like, is this for real? But let's talk about how this went down. You know how some people can create drama just by showing up? Trump was like that. His statements were like throwing gasoline on a fire that didn't even need any more fuel. Everyone else was scrambling, trying to figure out what he meant, what it would mean for the future, and how to deal with the fallout. It was like we were all trying to predict the next game-changing move, but it was anyone's guess. Now, let's step back and think about this for a second. Trump doesn't just like to make moves, he thrives on creating spectacle, and it worked. The media couldn't get enough of him. Every time he tweeted something outrageous, people were glued to their screens, waiting for the drama to unfold. And I'm not just talking about the left or the right here. No matter where you stood, Trump managed to pull everyone into his web of controversy. It was like a never-ending circus, and he was the ringmaster. But here's where it gets interesting. The Bible talks about how, in the last days, people will be distracted by noise and division. It's almost like this massive cloud of chaos would make it harder for us to see clearly. And when you look at Trump's ability to generate headlines every single day, it makes you wonder, is this all part of the grand distraction? Maybe all this chaos is doing exactly what it was meant to do, keep us from focusing on what truly matters. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Is Trump some kind of puppet for the end times? Nah, I'm not saying that. But look at the world around us. We've got tariffs, trade wars, international chaos, media manipulation, and division everywhere you turn. It feels like we're living through something we've only seen in movies or read about in history books. And while we're caught up in all this madness, we're missing out on something even bigger. Maybe it's time for us to stop and ask the big question, what's the point of all this chaos? Is it just politics as usual, or is there something deeper happening here? The Bible talks about a time when people will be so caught up in fighting each other, they won't even notice the bigger signs. And sometimes, when you look at all of Trump's antics, it feels like we're getting a little taste of that distraction. Whether it's him or someone else, there's always something that pulls us in and keeps us from paying attention to what's truly important. So, here's my challenge for you. Take a step back and really think about everything going on. Is the world just full of chaos? Or is it moving towards something more? We might not have all the answers, but it's worth looking at how we're reacting to the world's madness. Maybe it's time to refocus, pay attention to what's really going down, and find peace in a world that's more chaotic than ever. If you're with me on this, drop a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this convo going. Because, seriously, the only thing crazier than Trump is the world we're all trying to figure out together. Catch you later, fam.